Behold, the atheist's nightmare.
This is called the crocodile.
Provide proof and evidence that proves atheism is accurate and correct.
Were you there?
Somebody's got to stand up to experts.
Tide goes in, tide goes out. Never a miscommunication. You can't explain that.
Welcome to the second episode of Christian Glitches, the show where I introduce you to people whose brain doesn't work quite right. Actually, most of the time, some of these idiots' thinking process simply does not work at all. A glitch happens somewhere in their brains, and they end up saying or doing the stupidest thing imaginable. Today, I'm bringing you a group of ignorant fools who prefer to invent some conspiracy theory where nothing of such exists. In this video, you will hear the voices of YouTubers known as Rancam Campbell, Ironcross66106, Raw5061, and Sabella. I have cut out YouTuber Thick Shade's comments, but you can be certain that they were just as impressive as his four buddies. But first, here's a little something I found on YouTube that serves as a perfect introduction to today's Fundy Fools.
In the name of ALS
And so are all the dunking games people love to play at the fairs. But on to our four friends.
I heard that it was a powers that be, the upper echelon elite,
obviously,
that started this ritual of showing how humanity is so stupid we'll even numb our own brains
for real
with ice water. And it's also got a twofold to it, where it's a bit of a slap in the face to being baptized.
Seriously?
It's got like a twofold to it. The one is that they're showing how stupid we are, that we'll actually think numbing our own brains is a smart thing to do. And the second fold of it is that it's a slap in the face of baptism.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I don't know that it's a good thing. You know what I mean? I'm not watching it, and I know that they always add the charity to it to make it a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. What is the charity? What is the charity that they're?
Something I never even heard of. Some disease is, another group of 4 letters.
Please.
And honestly, I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me. It seems weird.
Is that so?
What next? Are we going to start doing a charity where, you're going to be challenged to run through the ghetto and yell the N-word 3 times? Like,
Say what?
It's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, of course, after they get dunked with the water, they start going into these freaked out spasms and yelling and screaming and shaking. And it's just, I don't know. I'm watching it. And it's not looking spiritually for me anyways. It's not looking good.
You can't make up shit like this.
Oh,
just
she's
a picture of the thumbnail.
If she's not satanic, nobody is.
And notice the bowl in the weird chair. The way she's sitting. Yeah. The way she's sitting.
And what's with that makeup?
And she didn't react. Notice that. Straight face, didn't react at all.
Yeah, no, like absolutely no emotion.
Like it didn't affect her.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm reading more into it than should be, but
please,
when you die, you get really cold, don't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, think about what I'm saying.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's what it's symbolizing. They're pouring death.
Right.
Death over their
and
warm, alive bodies.
I mean, there's something really going on that people are just so unaware of.
Nope.
And it's crazy that they can't see it. They don't want to see it. And when you mention it, they tell you you're crazy. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, they're telling you. I'm not telling you. I'm not making it up. I'm telling you what they're saying.
About Nicki Minaj, you tell people that she's got a demon in her, that she's even named Roman.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And all this stuff, and they think you're nuts.
We're just crazy, aren't we?
Obviously.
This is very interesting. They're using the word nominate.
Really?
Now, after they do it, they go, I nominate, and then they give their list of people that they're nominating.
Really?
Wow.
Are you talking about the famous people?
Yeah, like this is what Lady Gaga said. She said, I now nominate, and she nominated her next 4 people to do the Ice Bucket Challenge.
You know what that reminds me of, brother? That reminds me. No, that reminds me of Freemasonry too, because you can't actually go and just sign up to be a Freemason.
Get a goof rag and ask if it smell like chloroform.
Interesting.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you now? Like, it's very freaky.
Very strange, yeah.
It's weird, bro.
Yeah.
They don't say, I now challenge. They say, I nominate.
Well, we could be reading in too much to it.
Is that so?
But at the same time, I mean, like I said, it is getting people to blindly follow this silly thing that they're doing, and it does seem ritualistic. Like I said, when you die, you get awfully cold, so it could symbolize death.
And it symbolizes the numbing of the brain, and it symbolizes a baptismal. I mean, it's just, it has so many significant obviouses. They're doing like you nominate, you nominate 4 or 5 people at a time. It's not like you nominate one person. You nominate several. So you could literally, how quickly could you go through 7 billion? Tell me, how quickly could you get the entire world to go through this ritual and they not even know what it is?
It is you, Ran, Ironcross, Raw, and Sabella, who do not know what it is and cannot be bothered to find out. I request that my viewers allow me a few moments to talk seriously about this very important matter, and that I address directly the people involved. Especially Ran, who did most of the speaking in this video. Ran, it's not just some 4-letter disease like you said. There are only 3 letters, ALS, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Lou Gehrig's disease, but that's what it's all about. When somebody gets a diagnosis of ALS, it means death within 4 or 5 years, and it is a gruesome death. The disease attacks the nervous system, cutting the communication between the brain and the rest of the body. Eventually, the person can't move, can't swallow, can't speak, can't breathe, and then dies. Because very few people get ALS compared to other diseases, the big pharmaceutical companies can't be bothered to spend any real money on research. But guess what, Ran, Sabella, Ironcross, 6 Shades, and Raw? The victims deserve to live just like you and I do. After all the years humanity has known about ALS, very little has been done, and it is about time something be done. No, Ran, the purpose of the challenge is not to show how stupid humanity is. The purpose is to give someone a challenge. You either do something unpleasant, like dousing yourself with ice water, or you give money to help fund research. You may even film yourself pouring ice water over your head, and at the same time give the cause some free publicity, and also fund a charity. And guess what? It is working. So far, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people have learned about the disease and or contributed. It's the people like you who are happy to live in ignorance, who can't be bothered to learn, who fail miserably. Consider yourselves challenged. Yes, challenged. Because if you have any bit of humanity left, you will do something also in this fight against ALS. We are now on my balcony where I will perform a very important ceremonial. But since it is extremely, extremely important that I do all the steps right, I wrote the sacred words on this piece of paper. I nominate Zaunstar, WildwoodClaire, and at least one Canadian to perform the sacred statement by ice water. The power of ALS, the angel Lucifer, Satan compels you. And now, on with the rest of the ceremony. If anybody doesn't think there was ice in there, here's the proof.
This has been a test of the glitching fundamentalist system. Federal, provincial, and local authorities have developed this system to keep you informed in the event of a fundamental breakdown. If this had been a full-on mental collapse, the attention signal you just heard would have been followed by official information, news, or maybe the rapture, though probably not. This concludes this test of the glitching fundamentalist system.